I had a really good upbringing in Cape Town, went to a good school, Dawson College, finished school and played 10 years of professional sport. Professional cricket. I came from a big sporting family, and while I was playing cricket I was fortunate enough to set up a couple of businesses in the catering field and the restaurant field. So at the age of 30 I retired from playing professional sport, and at that stage I had 3 businesses. I was really busy, life was quite stressful, and unfortunately I took the path of self-medicating to deal with my own stress, and I became an addict myself. Using alcohol and cocaine were my choice of drugs, and very much largely used those to cope with my working environments. I didn't have the skills to deal with the pressures of work, and I got into a cycle of using them to work longer hours and to cope with the stresses and cope with dealing with staff, and it just led on to a dependence and led into an addiction, and hence why I've followed into the addiction route and became an addiction therapist. And I think that was largely due to my understanding of the addiction in the workplace. What we find is that, again, in the working environment, people are very scared to come out with their addictions. They're scared to talk about it. There's a fear of being fired. There's a fear of losing the job, losing the income, how am I going to pay the mortgage. Again, if they know that they're going to be supported around the issues of addiction, they're going to be more encouraged to open up about it and to seek the necessary help. And something that could go on for 5, 6, 7, sometimes 10, 15 years before we even know, could actually be sorted out within a relatively short period of time. If I'm allowing my staff members to have an open and encouraging environment. Going through the treatment process at Castle Craig, there will most certainly be a process of discovery about themselves. I guide my patients and assist my patients in taking responsibility for their own process of healing, and I'm really there just to guide them. And part of that process of healing is to work out what they're all about. What are they about? How do they function? What makes them feel anxious? What makes them feel stressed out? If I'm faced with the project that I've got to do, if I'm faced with a talk in front of 100 people to do, previously I would have dealt with it by using that stress. Now, upon leaving treatment, I would have the skills to deal with that. So the next time I'm presented with this work or presented with a stressful situation, I'll have the skill to be able to bring down the anxiety levels, to allow myself to not self-medicate. And it's a very powerful tool to use because it's something that we don't grow up to learn. We don't learn it at school, we don't learn it in the business environment. And the powerful effects of learning that are lifelong and not something that you'll learn in 2 weeks and forget in 2 weeks. Once I have that skill to know when I'm feeling like this, I have the skill and the awareness to deal with it, which is exceptionally important.